sick. I make videos about my life, and today I have a special guest to introduce you to. Welcome to the channel, Bessy. Bessy is my walker, and her name is Bessy because she is black and white, and I got a little, well, you can't even see it, cow sticker for her. She's been on the channel before. This is not her first appearance. Check out Disney vlog, the first time I actually used her. But I kind of wanted to talk about what it's like getting a walker and like why I picked this one and like my experience with it thus far. So that's the video. But before we get into it, I just wanted to highlight my hoodie, and you guys will have seen this hoodie on my channel at some point as well. But I love this hoodie. And I have it linked below if you would like to get one, because it's the EDS like zebra print with I love you in ASL, and obviously I'm in love with it. So I first got my walker when I was going to Disney. My old roommate and I spent the day. Like I said, you can go watch that vlog. It was a lot of fun. But going into it, I knew I wasn't going to be able to walk around the park all day and like be okay. So I had thought a little bit about like renting a wheelchair at the park, but I just didn't think it was the right option for me. Now I do have a cane. I got that one back in like 2019. Like I've had that for a while, but it's never all that useful for me because it's so much weight on one hand and it doesn't do that much to truly balance me, which is my biggest issue. And I can't like sit down with it or anything like that. It's just kind of like a little bit of help. So I keep it next to my bed, so like first thing in the morning, or if I've dislocated something, I can use it to get myself to the kitchen. But that's pretty much all I use it for. So I was like, well, cane is not working. Wheelchair I don't think is the right option either. Walker. So that's kind of how I ended up with the idea of it, because I have EDS, I have POTS. You can go watch fun story about my life. But I pass out if I'm standing up too much. I get super dizzy, and so I was like, I just need a spot that I can sit down on, something that gives a little bit of extra support, but not something that I'm using entirely my bad shoulders and bad wrists for, because I had a feeling that that would just push my arms over. Like it would have been too painful for my arms rather than too painful for my feet. So I feel like a walker is a really nice balance between the two. It's a good way to distribute all of my weight and all of my walking energy between my entire body, so it just takes less of a toll. So I went on Amazon and I was kind of looking at stuff, and I know this is not the most average looking walker. I think she's really fun. It's like the Drive something or whatever. I don't know. First of all, I wanted a white walker because all of my furniture is white. I really like the color white, so I wanted a white one. Things that stood out to me about this walker in particular is the fact that it is thick for like optimal sticker usage. This is not the most convenient corner to have put myself in. Other things that I really like about it are the fact that it has a really thick and comfortable cushion. It has a really big backrest. It's not just like kind of that rounded foam, it's like flat, and I have a pretty bad back, so that's nice and helpful. I don't know how well you can see it, but the handles are kind of like really ergonomic and like flat. They're not just rounded, which makes it much easier for me to hold. So there were just a lot of benefits to this one that I think I just really like stood out to me. This is not that heavy, but I don't think it's also the lightest option. So if you're absolutely just need the absolute lightest thing, I don't quite think that this is the right one, but it's still incredibly light. Everybody who's like, all of my friends who've like picked it up to help me or whatever have been like, whoa, it's lighter than I anticipated. I'm like, right. So these are just kind of like my favorite features about Bessy. I love Bessy. Quite honestly, like she's been my favorite mobility aid that I've ever had. I just love her to pieces. It's, you know, it was love at first sight, let's be real. But she took some getting used to initially. Like first day I used her was Disney. Now I figured this was actually a really good plan. I talked about this in my Disney vlog, but Disney is such an accessible place and so accommodating and used to having people with mobility aids that it's a little bit less daunting, because it's not like, oh, you're going to the grocery store where you're going to be the only young person who's ever used a mobility aid in this specific grocery store ever. It's Disney. There's so many people who are younger with mobility aids who go to Disney. You're not necessarily alone, you're not weird, nobody gives you weird looks, the staff is all incredibly nice, they know how to handle it. So it was just, I think, a really good place to test out a mobility aid for the first time. And I think that goes for any big amusement park or anything like that. I mean, obviously Disney is super accessible and known for that, but I think it would work at any situation like that. So when we first walked into the park at Disney, I totally ran over a worker's foot and felt so bad, and then realized that I would run over many, many more people's feet. And I started to feel a little bit less bad every time I ran somebody over, mostly because people would step in front of me, and, you know, oh well. But I was really awkward with it, really clunky with it. I didn't have confidence in it the way that I think I do now to some extent. Like, I was still just trying to get familiar with it. And that took a while, if I'm being honest. Like, it wasn't like, I think my cane was much easier to get used to. I think because it's smaller and closer to my body. This is much bigger and, like, takes up more space. And it's not just the physical getting used to it, it's like mentally getting confident with using it and just being comfortable with seeing yourself use it, because I'm 21 years old. I have a walker. Like, that's such a strange concept, but it's fantastic because it gives me extra support and I can sit down when I need it. Like, it's exactly what I need, but it's still weird. And like, I feel like to some extent, anybody who's ever used a mobility aid will feel this. Like, it's really hard to be confident using it because, like, it's things like, I put mine in the trunk. How the heck am I supposed to fit this in my trunk? Like, I don't know the best way to fold it and pick it up and shove it in, and now I'm awkward and people are staring at me anyways and I don't know what I'm doing, and now I just feel like a mess. But you get better at it. Like, I know exactly how to pick it up, how to fold it, how to pick it up, how to put it in my trunk super quickly now without any issues. Like, I've gotten so much better at just having it and using it and being around it. So some of the things that I think I'd recommend if you are thinking about getting a mobility aid, or you just got one and you don't necessarily, like, you still feel like it's hard to use it out in public, my biggest suggestions are, like, go to places you've been to before and know the accessibility of it. Because you'll get to places that aren't accessible and it makes it really difficult. I'm not gonna lie, it makes it much harder. But if places are already accessible, you don't have to worry about having to ask for help and draw more attention to it. Places that are more public spaces, like the grocery store, if you have a friend or a family member, have them push the cart around and use your walker. And that's like, going to the grocery store with somebody you're comfortable with has been such a big help. Bringing it to class, this has been one of the harder ones for me to do. I think bringing it to class was the last thing I really did with it, because I was like, I don't want my professors to look at me a certain way. I don't want people to ask me questions. I don't want this. I don't want that. But my school's been really, like, a butt with accessibility. So I've, like, out of spite been using it so that they have to be accessible. But it's been super helpful because now I have to take the elevator, which is better on my body. So there's just, bring it places I wouldn't say, like, use it out of spite initially, but that's been one of the things that has made me more comfortable with it, is just having to be confident and having to use it, and just going to accessible places with people you're comfortable with who are, like, who get it, which is hard. You might not always have somebody who's like that, but just go out public places with it. That is honestly the most stupid bit of advice, but, like, it's I don't know, it's the advice that you need. Like, just go places with it. However anxious you are, you will learn how to use it, you will get familiar with it. It just takes a bit of time. It takes a little bit of practice, but you're never going to get to a place you're confident if you're not vulnerable with it first. I couldn't be more thankful for having it, and, like, how it helps me honestly daily at this point, because I use it pretty much all the time. And it's just, I'm so glad that I pushed myself through feeling weird and icky using it, and now I'm just confident with it, and it's just an extended part of my body. Another tip, if you are kind of like hesitant about using it, or you know, you feel like it doesn't like match your aesthetic, or you're too young to use it, stickers. I've covered this bad boy in so many stickers. Most of them are from Kenna, Threads of Kindness. Go check out her shop. Why did I decide to sit on a rug with this? This is a horrible idea. Stickers. They're all like super cute. They're super fun. They just make this so much more personal and so much cooler. It's like now I can go out and show people the cool stickers I got, rather than like thinking about it as like, oh, I'm disabled and I have a ugly thing that's coming with me now, which is like not true in the first place. But yeah, let me show you some of the stickers. We have a fairy because obviously out of order. My school mascot is a bee. The only thing that's popping are my joints. Just like some fun things. In transit, arriving late, a book, a teapot. Oh, cute little hands. We've got, you know, another tea thing. EDS sticker. This is where the instruction stuff was, and I can't get the sticky off no matter how hard I tried, but whatever. A little sun. I've got a butterfly. I've got a school sticker. A little flower thing. Some more flowers, and thanks, it's a disorder. Another one from Kenna. Forever fatigued. Camera. Invisible Illness Club. Tea lover, butterfly, gastroparesis, Winnie the Pooh, because obviously, I'm full of shit, literally, because, yeah, a little hobbit door, invisible doesn't mean non-existent, a little cactus, oh, and obviously, Miss Bessy herself. Stickers are a great way to make this just so much more fun and lovable and great. I've not used any other walker, so I can't necessarily compare mine to anybody else, but I will link the one that I have down below in the description. I got it from Amazon. This was about like $200. It was a bit of an investment, I'm not gonna lie, and I was really worried about dropping $200 on something I would never use after I went to Disney. That was not a concern, I think was all that warranted, to be honest, because I love this thing. I use it every day, and it has just become one of my favorite chronic illness things. So if you are thinking of one, do it. If you are thinking you need a mobility aid, you probably do, and it will probably be helpful. And if it will be helpful in even the slightest way, like even just having a chair to sit down on the regular, great. Being able to take your backpack off and put it on here saves your back, great. Even if it's just the smallest things, it does help in so many ways. So this is me just plugging a walker pretty much, but also introducing you to her and showing you her stickers because I love her and I'm very proud of these stickers. So yeah, honestly, I think I've had like 1 cup of tea too many today and I'm really hyper, so I apologize. I have no idea what the heck has happened in this video anymore, but I hope it was in some way enlightening. Yes, thanks for watching the chaos of whatever the heck just happened. There are other videos down below. Subscribe, like, comment. Do you have a mobility aid? What's your favorite mobility aid? Do you have a walker? Comment about what type of walker you have or any suggestions for walkers, because I haven't tried them all, so yeah, leave that down below. I don't know. As always, lots of love. Bye!